สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to Morning Thailand of the 27th of August 2013. I am Tulip Naksompong.
And I'm Wanasan Kerahong.
And we have lots of news to report today. Most of them not so good.
Not so good. Lots of accidents happened yesterday, unfortunately. But one of the accidents that quite fortunate, I might say, is the accident that took place at Central World. Now, this is like one of the biggest shopping complex right here in Bangkok, of course. And what happened was that there was a launching of a new product from Vaseline.
Okay.
And for some reason, there was a construction going on around the site. So they got the scaffold there.
Like in the background?
Yeah, like almost like a renovation that took place during the time.
Right.
Now, what happened was that during the time when Kun Mark Prin, one of the most famous actors, Prin Suparat or Kun Mark, was actually giving an interview surrounding by all the fan clubs, of course, and this particular scaffold just collapsed down. Fortunate and really fortunate that no one was actually injured. As you can see there, it was quite a bit further away from the site that Kun Mark was actually giving our interview, as well as all the people that were gathering admiring him. So it turns out to be quite a good incident that took place, because it's very fortunate no one got hurt. However, I think the concern that has been raised by a lot of people is that this is not the first time that this kind of thing happened at the Central World. There has been several scaffolds or construction that happened before that turned out quite badly. So this is definitely most fortunate one, and I believe that they probably will have to rethink in terms of what to do and how to do it, in terms of trying to make sure that this type of thing will not repeat itself once again. But interestingly enough, that normally when you have an event or launching something that big, this is on the second floor, by the way. Yeah, exactly. So second floor of Central World, that's quite a bit further up, not down at all, because they have M floor, they have G floor before they hit the, so technically it's on the fourth floor almost. So interestingly enough, but no one got hurt. All is good. But I know you have something that not as fortunate.
Yes. This one resulted in 9 deaths, and all happened because of the reckless driving of the mass transportation driver. I think we heard enough accidents that happened because of the behavior of the driver itself, and this time it's so unfortunate because the minivan that caused this many deaths actually just drive into the park trailer.
Right, so drove right into it.
Yes. The thing is, according to the witness, which is the driver of the 22-wheeler that parked on the street, he said his car broke down when he came out from his factory, so he just parked his car on the road, which is in Chiang Rai province, on the Bang Khanak, Bang Nam Priao road. It's a highway road. So suddenly he woke up because he heard a loud bang at the back of his wheeler. So he come out and see this minivan that used as a mass transportation crash into the back of his wheeler, and he saw bodies and people lying around. So finally the rescuer come to the scene, and they found 9 bodies, 7 severely injured, and 9 people dead. Out of those 9 people, they're able to identify 7 of them. So 1 UNID man and 1 UNID woman. And all 7 people that survived got severely injured right now is at Putta Sothon Hospital. Now Chatchat Siddhipon, as we know, is pretty active on his post, seems like, and he already on this thing, and he said the van that was in the accident is one of the unregistered, unauthorized car that used as mass transportation.
So it's not one of those yellow license plate ones that
yes,
actually
it's not
authorized to do it?
In order to get authorized, they have to pay initial fees, 40,000 baht, and they also have to pay daily fees, which will cost as much as the 1 seat cost. So it's depend on which route, how much it's gonna cost. But actually, the transportation department already closed the registration for the new van. But they say because there are so high demand and not enough the transportation at the moment, so there is a lot of unregistered, unauthorized minivan to use as a mass transportation at the moment. So reportedly, this car in particular that crashed into the wheelers was overcrowded.
Right.
It's permitted by law to have 15 people, including driver, but this one has 16. But I think 15 or 16 is out of the question. It's more like the way they drive. The driver just said that he tried to He survived too. He survived, and he just tried to make his route as fast as possible. He left Prachinburi at 4 a.m. and supposed to go to Bangkok at the Victory Monument. Okay. And this happened on the way. He was just trying to make his route. But that's not the reason that it's 4 a.m. in the morning. There shouldn't be that many cars on the road.
Well, it's a parked car.
Yes, and it's a parked car. Also, the driver of the wheelers got charged with the parking on the street without the warning light, the emergency light.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
I can
so
see that's
dark.
the problem.
Yeah. So the driver couldn't see the parked car, and I guess driving too fast wouldn't be able to shift the lane in time, so crashed into the back of the 22-wheelers and caused 9 deaths. Tragic, seriously.
Right. And the thing is, with this type of incident, if it's not yellow license plate, it's not covered by the insurance company.
But the minister said that the owner of the minivan company have to pay. There is a standard rate for that, 200,000 from the liability insurance, and the owner of the van have to pay 300,000 baht on top of that for each death. So each death will receive 500,000 baht, supposed to, but we know this kind of case it can be dragged for months or years.
Or you end up with a settlement where practically eventually they got absolutely almost nothing out of it. So very unfortunate. So be very careful. I think that, at least what you could do is if you really have to take one of these vans, make sure that is yellow license plate.
Right.
Because at least that means that it's legally registered.
Right.
So hopefully the driver will be a little bit more careful in terms of driving, but once again, there's no guarantee because we've seen those got crashed as
Actually, one of our staff just told us before we get in the show that she was in one of these minivans and her driver actually was in training in driving, not even training in driving a van, in training in driving.
Right. So that means that you are...
Maybe next time we have to use that service, I will ask to just drive it myself.
If you can, yes, most definitely.
Just to be safe.
Just say get out, I'll drive.
I'll drive, and I pay you.
Now let's take a short break from this whole crazy accident, and we have actually a very good, good scoop from the International Labor Organization, or the ILO, about social protection and welfare right here in Thailand. So we're going to take a look at this little scoop and see what they have to say about the situation right here.
ความคุ้มครองทางสังคม
ถึงสำคัญกับคุณ
เมื่อเช้านี้ฉันพาลูกไปโรงพยาบาลแล้วฉันก็ไม่ต้องเสียเงินมากเพราะฉันได้จ่ายภาษีไปแล้ว
ผมอยากให้ลูกจ้างเข้าถึงการบริการขั้นพื้นฐานเช่นระบบสุขภาพหรือการฝึกอบรมต่างๆถ้าเขามีสุขภาพที่ดีมีการฝึกอบรมที่ดีเขาก็จะทำงานได้อย่างมีประสิทธิภาพ
หลังจากคลอดลูกแล้วดิฉันก็ได้เงินสงเคราะห์จากรัฐบาลแล้วก็ยังได้ลาคลอดมาเลี้ยงลูกสาวดิฉันอยากจะดูแลเขาให้เขาได้กินนมแม่และอาหารที่ดีค่ะ
ลุงอายุเกือบ80 ปีแล้วทำงานเหมือนตอนหนุ่มๆไม่ได้ โชคดีที่รัฐบาลให้เบี้ยยังชีพ700 บาทก็ได้เอามาช่วยค่าใช้จ่ายที่จำเป็นเช่นอาหาร
ครอบครัวของหนูได้รับความช่วยเหลือและให้หนูมีชุดนักเรียนใส่ให้หนูมีอาหารกลางวันทานฟรีที่โรงเรียนหนูจะได้มีการศึกษาสูงการศึกษา
โอกาสในการเข้าถึงงานที่มีคุณค่า
อาหารที่ดี
ระบบสุขภาพ
มีชีวิตที่ดี
เราสามารถสร้างฐานความคุ้มครองทางสังคมได้
Thanks UN-ILO for that little clip about the workforce,
Exactly.
security in workforce
Social
and the security in social protection.
And such.
Okay, anyway, moving on to the next news, I think this is also have a little bit involved in the national security because it's involved illicit drug. So yesterday there was another arrest we always report. Now only the big one.
Right.
And this one is pretty big because the police found with the suspect 1 million methamphetamine.
That's a lot.
This is on the way down to Bangkok out from Mueang district of Chiang Rai and it was on the way to the transition place. You know, every time we talk about this, there will be transition place on each part of
because
the
I think they're all trying to come to Bangkok or either, you know, distribute it somehow.
So the police got tips off that there will be 2 pickup that will transport these methamphetamines. So they finally spot 2 pickup trucks with Chiang Rai license plate. So the police, of course, pulled them over. The first pickup was fine. Nothing found, but there were 2 of the ethnic Akha were in the car, and another car behind that, just like one after another. Also, 1 ethnic Akha was driving, and so after search the first pickup didn't find anything. The police searched the second pickup truck, and they found big fertilizer sack. Many of them, and in those sacks, of course, altogether 1 million methamphetamine, and the police believe that all this methamphetamine were transferred from Ban Doi Kham in neighboring countries, coming into through Thailand through the Mae Chan Luang checkpoint in Mae Pha Luang, Chiang Rai province, on the way to Bangkok, which the suspect confessed themselves that they will just do this part of transition. There will be somebody else picking all this thing up at the house that they're supposed to drop it off, and this will be sent to Bangkok and then sent to the south of Thailand. So good thing we intercepted since the early stage of transferation.
And I think the big drug lord, I think it's like Colonel Yi Say or something like that. That it was like one of this is actually one of his operation network and such.
So that means they found the logo on the methamphetamine pills itself because they always have one of those signature mark.
Because like in one of the front page, they would just like Ponto Yi Say once again.
Again?
Yeah.
I think his name came up so often.
I think he's like one of the biggest, and that police are trying so hard to actually be able to find, because obviously I think that's almost like his career.
Not almost, I think
that's his career.
I think when the police able to make an arrest, it will be one of the biggest news of the region.
All right, let's take a short break because, of course, after the break, I have another new drug substance to introduce. Not for you to use, but for you to avoid.
Right.
And of course, Kun Tulip has updates on the visa stickers as well. So please stay tuned.